Hello, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. Today I've got something different to share with you. On the weekend I went away to an amazing event with a whole bunch of other crafty ladies and got to make awesome amount of cards and make and takes, got to chat with friends, and it was a really great weekend. I really enjoyed it. So today I'm sharing with you the projects that I have come home with, the projects that I have made, some swaps that were shared with me, and anything I can share with you. So this beautiful creation, if I hold it like that so you can see it, is a lovely little lantern which has inside it a gorgeous little candle. This was a project we made, let me just pop this in here, to show off the gorgeous paper florist dies. These paper florist dies were quite a feature on the event on the weekend. There were flowers everywhere, all around the room, on all of the tables, and they were made with these dies that make all sorts of different flowers, and we got to make all of the flowers on this project here, and I'm just in the process of sticking the rest of the flowers inside and thought I'd share that with you. One good thing about these dies is that a couple of the dies cut out multiple flowers all at one time, which makes it nice and quick and easy. And that one is cut out all at the same time, and these two here, as well as the large petals and some of the inside circles and the tulip petals as well. So these flowers here were made with, okay, so this one was made with those large petals, these large petals here, with 3 of them put together and then a couple of the others on the inside. And I've just got a dimensional on the back of it. I'm going to tuck it inside my lantern here. And I've got a couple more. Just going to tuck them inside strategically around the place so that it looks nice. Oops, that one came off completely. I need another dimensional for you. Okay, so this project here doesn't have any stamping in it, but it does have the added bonus of looking really gorgeous. One more there, one more there, and the last one over this side here. And let me show you closely what that looks like. It's a bit hard to show you with that. So there you are. Inside I've got all my flowers around the little candle flame. Okay, isn't that beautiful? What a beautiful decor piece. I'll just switch off my candle now. I'm finished there. I won't waste the battery of that. Just pop that inside. Oops! Inside my flowers. Pop that aside. Okay, now to show you some of the cards I received and managed to create on my weekend. One of the projects that we got to make on the weekend was this one, which is called a punch buddy. We got to punch out all of the punches that we have in the catalogue. So the double oval, the petal builder punch, the cherry builder punch, the handmade tag punch, or this is testing my memory, the bow punch, little monkey builder punch, the cloud punch, one of the circle punches, and this one's the bottle punch, and oh, that's a label punch. What's that one called? I can't remember that one off the top of my head. Dragonfly punch, the little porcupine builder punch. Oh, I've actually got 2 of him. That was clever. The tropical leaf punch, the sweet songbirds builder punch. This one here shows off the trio, best trio punch, which has an angled, it has a ribbon slot, and it has that lovely little scallopy edge. And this one is the heart. I don't know that one. The decorative circle punch, little bunny, a sailor, the sailing boat builder punch, the Trucking Along Builder Punch Best Label. That one coordinates with the Alphabet stamp set. Ladybird Builder. And then these two, tiled, inked and tiled, I think is what they're called. So that's a great little tool if you want to have a look at all of your punches. And the way you can use it that works really, really well is you can use your punch buddy to have a look to see if some stamps will fit inside the punched labels when you're adding them to projects, which is a great process. Okay, whoops, that's there for a project if I get time. All right, here's some of the projects I got to create on the Saturday night of the weekend. We got to go to a pajama party, which was so much fun, and make 5 different projects from a fantastic shoebox swap. Everyone brought along a project to share, and this was one of the ones I got to do, featuring the inked botanical paper and the coordinating stamp sets that go with it. That's a fun little Z fold there. And then this one was another one of the cards from the pajama party. This one used a mask to create a gorgeous circle. We did a little bit of colouring in of the dainty daisies, and then inside the card as well. I love it when insides of cards are done, so I'm going to do some more cards with the insides. So this one was a fun fold taught to us by Simone. The card just opens up like that, like a little sandwich, and we used the fantastic Circle Sayings stamp set with a fussy cut little cupcake and a little bit of embossing on the front with the beautiful blossom embossing. This was my project that I shared for the shoebox swap, featuring the masterfully made stamp designer series paper, and only one little bit of stamping from Go To Greetings and some punched flowers from the Petal Park punch. And then this card here was created using the little float from the Gone Fishing stamp set. Let me show you this. It wasn't my idea, but isn't that clever? This little float here has been embossed to create a Christmas card. So Merry Christmas, and then the little floats for the baubles, and stamped on the envelope and on the inside of the card as well. There we go. Here's something that's really beautiful. It took me a long time. In fact, someone had to tell me where this came from. This was in the baskets of flowers on the tables. And what has been used is the colour and contour, or the scallop and contour dies out of the top of one of our kit boxes. And seeing kit boxes are on special this month, you might be able to grab yourself a couple of kit boxes, and this is from the side of it. What a clever, clever idea. Okay, so those are the hello. Thank you so much for joining me today, those who are able to join me. It's so nice to see you. So those are my cards, some of the cards. I also got a whole bunch of other cards, and as I said, I like the insides of the cards done. So I wanted to finish these off, and I thought I'd do that with you. This one was another card taught by Simone, showing a really fun faux step fold. That's very easy to do, and I just want to add a little bit of Whisper White and some of the coordinating paper to the front inside of the card. And I thought I would also stamp on the inside of the card one of the little Cheerful Daisies stamps, this little one here, randomly around the card. I've just got to get some scrap paper. So to decorate the inside of the card, I don't usually go to a great deal of detail, but just something a little bit extra, I think, does create a really nice effect. So I'm going to do that there. That's probably enough. And then just clean off my stamp, because I like to do that straight away. Put it away. Then add my strip of designer series paper. This is a great way to use up, actually, decorating the inside of your cards is also a really great way to use up designer paper, because we always end up with bits and pieces left over, don't we? So I'm going to stick that on the edge there, and then a little bit more sticking, and stick that on the inside of my card. And I've got now my beautiful fold and the lovely daisies on the front, and on the inside repeating the paper and a little bit of stamping. And my card is a lot more finished off, I think. Gives it a lot more stability, and it has a lovely finished off look. So that's the first one. Here's this one with the layering leaves. This one was one of my make and take projects. Isn't that beautiful? Embossed with the lovely fern embossing folder, and then a couple of circles, a stitched circle from the shape circles, and then the For You from the Wanted to Say dies, I believe, but nothing on the inside. So to do the inside, I'm going to, this little punched leaf here is from the bow punch, which coordinates with the layering leaves stamp set. So I'm just going to repeat the motif from the front on the inside of my card on my white piece with Night of Navy, the same colour ink. So I'll just stamp a couple of leaves on the edge there. I'm going to add some Designer Series paper across the edge and another one there. There we go. Clean off my stamp, close my ink pad, put the stamp away so it doesn't get lost. All right, and then I can stick this all together again. So I'll pop this one onto my boho blue cardstock, and then I've got a strip of the Countryside in paper, the same length as the length of my cardstock, and I'm putting it on a piece of Night of Navy that's just a touch wider. So my Countryside in paper is 1/2 inch, and I think the Night of Navy might be, I don't think it's 3/4 of an inch, I'm not entirely sure, but it's just a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch. And then I'll add that across the bottom, my cardstock there, and using up a couple of my scraps from my scrap heap, a tiny bit of stamping, and creates a lovely inside for my card that says For You, that can be used for any situation, which is why I really love the leaf motif. So I could just repeat that and then I can use it for any situation. Okay, next on my pile, this is one of the ones from the shoebox swap as well. This card as well doesn't have any stamping. It does have a lot of lovely sponging on the front with beautiful bubble bath ink, which I think is so pretty. And I did have some on the inside as well, because the card came with an inside piece. But I thought I'd just add a little bit of paper to continue the theme from the front. And I'm using the same paper. This time I haven't got a great big strip because I don't have that much left. So I'm just putting it on the edge. Whoop. Trim off the length there. Bit more seal, and then pop this on the edge of my card down here. A little bit, it's a tiny bit longer than it needs to be. So do I trust myself just to trim off a tiny bit there? Let's have a look. So I'm not sticking it down super hard just yet, not until I've got it. There we go. And then I have cut out a circle to mirror the same sort of motif from the front of my card. Just going to add that to the corner there. There we go. Line up with the pretty geometric design to make it look like it blends in with the little triangular pattern there. There we are. So that's my third card. Okay, doing well here. All right, this one here. This is a fun card. Now, I forget, this was one of the make and takes, I think. I forget who taught us this one. Oh, I feel bad now. But I loved the use of the Designer Series paper, and I really love the colours actually. Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink. So I thought, it has with a grateful heart on the front, which is great. I thought I'd just add this leaf from the two-tone flora in Petal Peacock, and then because I've used pecan pie for my flower there, I might add just a couple of pecan pie flowers around there. So this stamp set is nothing like the one on the front, but I was going for something with a similar sort of motif because I don't have the stamp set that we used in Ballarat. So I'm just using something that's similar-ish. And I just put that on the wrong colour. Silly me, because I wanted to do this in Pretty Peacock, like the leaves on the front. Okay, thank goodness the cardstock's double-sided. There we go, Pretty Peacock, leaf there and there. Okay, take two, close up the ink pad, put away my stamp, and get the little flowers and use them in pecan pie around the edges, and maybe just a tiny bit up the top there. There we go. So that's my extending the imagery from the front of the card to the inside of the card using a stamp set that sort of coordinates a little bit. Okay. And pop this onto a mat of Petal Pink. These are just a couple of little scraps I had in my stash. Pop that on the inside of my card. How did I go? Does that sort of look like it coordinates and matches? The colours are the same, if nothing else. Rightio. I've got a couple more to go. This, oh, I should show the beautiful card. This is a lovely card that we created together using embossing folders, which was really lovely. And I'm going to continue the Lost Lagoon, and on my white piece here it says thank you, so I don't want to add any more words to it, but I thought I might add this same stamp again, but this time use the cardstock, which is soft sea foam, for a much lighter effect, because this panel here you want to be able to write on to your recipient. So there we go, soft sea foam for the leaf, and because I can't resist it and I absolutely love that stamp, I'm going to do a little bit of crumb cake with the printing. And I've got a spot there I want to cover up, so there we go, just repeat stamping. There we go, that's all done there. Clean up, put away. I'm making up a nice little pile on both sides of me, one of ink pads and one of stamp sets that I'll be putting back on my shelf in alphabetical order. Who else puts their stamps away in alphabetical order? Let me know. Okay, there's the inside of my card. So the in front of the card, thank you, with the beautiful embossed cane weave, and then just a little bit of simple stamping on the inside. This card was another fun one using embossing folders and the Countryside Corners dies, which works really well, and the Petal Builder Punch. So I've used the same dies, and I've created a similar sort of frame, but on the inside there, and I usually would use another piece of cardstock, but I forgot to get it. I'm just going to stamp a couple of these flowers that coordinate with the punch ones on the front, and using Bubble Bath. Whoop. And just stamp them on the corners. 1, 2. And then with my die cut papers, I'm going to put adhesive first on this one, because I want to make sure it lines up perfectly with the green before I put them both in the inside of my card. So I just want to make sure that lines up really well, evenly all the way around. And then add my adhesive on the top and bottom and the sides of that one. Okay, and then I can pop that on the inside of my card here, and it continues the theme from the front. There we go. Isn't that a wonderful idea with the textured embossed vellum to create a cute little window? And then it continues the theme. And the last card I have to show you is incredible. It's an amazing fold shared with us by Heather. I'll just move my scrap paper out of the way for a second, but I will need it in a minute probably. But look at this. It opens up to create this fantastic fold that pops out with balloons, and it can stand up like that. But I just thought it would be nice with something extra on the front. So I'm going to add some of this beautiful paper, which is part of the same suite, on the front, and then also another bit on the back for you to write your greeting to your recipient. And then I thought I might continue the theme with another balloon on the front with a stamped greeting. So get out our beautiful balloons. The greeting I thought I might try on the balloon is this one that says, "Let's get our celebration on." It is a curved greeting, and it's designed to go around your balloon like that. But because it's polymer, it can actually be bent into shape like that to stamp inside the balloon. Okay, let's have a look. If I can stick that down. There we go. Let's get your celebration on. Sorry if I put my head in the way there. I'm going to stamp that with Blueberry Bushel, which is one of the main colours in the card. So let's get our celebration on. Pop that there. And that went pretty good. That's the first time I've tried that. I'm also going to add some little dots. I'll just leave you there because I'm going to use you again in the middle on the balloon to make it look really cool using lemon lime twist. There we go. Let's get our celebration on. And then on the piece for the back of the card, piece that we're going to write our greeting, I'm going to stamp, "I think it's time for a celebration." So I'll pop you back in there. "I think it's time for a celebration" in the Blueberry Bushel. And I'll turn that around so it's up the right way. "I think it's time for a celebration." There you go. All right, let's close up all of these and put this one away. All right, and stick this card together. So on the back of the card, "I think it's time for a celebration." Put my seal on the back of you. Such a fun card, and it fits into a standard envelope, which is another fun thing about it. And on the front, the festive stripy paper. Whoop. And our fun balloon with some dimensionals on the back of them. And I'm up to the edge pieces of my dimensionals, so using up the leftovers of that. Okay, let's get our celebration on, and I'm doing it in the same direction that the balloons inside happen. And then I've got a couple of taggy bits here I'm going to stick on with glue dots. So one Blueberry Bushel, there we go, and one lemon lime twist. There we are, 2 of those. And I also have some Parakeet Party ribbon that I thought might be fun to put a bow on as well, but I don't know how it'll look, so let's see what we think, how it turns out. I'm just doubling that over and creating a bow. Okay, pull my tails down. So yes, I think I will do that. I'm going for the whole shebang here. Just trim my other leg tails and use that on my mini glue dot and pop you at the top there. There we go. What do we think of that? Put my rubbish away. Let's get our celebration on. Ta-da! That looks like a party and a card, doesn't it? And then I think it's time for a celebration. There we go. So these are the cards I've made with you today. The only original ideas I had were for the insides of the cards. They're made by lots of incredibly amazing and talented card making people who all travelled together to go to Ballarat to spend time together making cards and sharing the love and joy of paper crafts. I hope you're inspired. I hope you've got some great ideas, and then also there's my swaps of cards that we made at the event also. There we go, and next time I come on I'll show you some more cards that I received. Isn't that amazing? All those beautiful cards, all from one weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye now.